At the end of 2017, we went through an exercise where we were setting goals for 2018. And we sit around tables like this and try and figure out how we're going to do better for the next year. And one of the things that we noticed in 2017 was that our top traders were having unusual success trading options. And so we said, hey, let's push our top traders to trade options more. Let's push them to trade them bigger. Let's encourage them that they can make more in P&L by trading options bigger and more often. And so we had those conversations, and we put those challenges in front of our traders, and they really responded in 2018. Several traders in 2018 who were in the past primarily just active equities traders started supplementing what they were doing more with options, and just their options trading for several of them started to bring in 7 figures and better.
Wow.
Just with options trading. And so I've become very curious about this. And of course, then the junior traders started recognizing why the senior traders were having this additional success, and they wanted to do it as well, and then they started doing it. And we, across the board, have been noticing this unusual success that our desk is having trading options. And so I wanted to bring Seth in. I wanted to bring in the head of our options trading desk, Seth Freudberg, and ask him why he thinks this is, and specifically, why are our active equities traders having so much success with options?
Well, Mike, I think the answer's got to start with these guys are really good traders, okay? They trade equities exceptionally. All right. So they have a feel for direction. They have a feel for trade entry. They have a feel for establishing risk-reward trade-offs. They have a feel for when to add to their positions. They have a feel for when to exit their positions. This is the starting point for your question, because if you're a lousy day trader, as far as directional options trading are concerned, you're probably not going to be a very good directional options trader as well. The edge, though, that a growing trader picks up on with options is the tremendous risk-reward trade-off that exists with options. So that if they are right, they can improve their risk-reward trade-off substantially compared to equities. And so that is why they're so successful. They're taking as you talk about very frequently, you've got to broaden the number of products that you use to express your directional viewpoint. What these guys have done is, and some of them were trained in our Options Foundation course, they understand the principles of how options are priced, and they exploit that to greatly expand the risk-reward trade-off on their directional viewpoints. So, Bella, let me give you a perfect example. 2 Wednesdays ago, we had the Fed announcement, the FOMC 2 p.m. announcement. Now, if you'd taken a look at the SPY options trading at that time, you would have found that if you wanted to buy the 298 SPY put, SPY was trading around 300 right at the time of the announcement. You wanted to buy the 298 puts, which would have been a bearish play. If you bought the puts that expired that day, the day of the Fed announcement, those would have cost you 37 cents. But if you did not have the domain knowledge of options that our guys who, for example, have been through Options Foundation had, they might have made the mistake of going out to September, where you would have had to pay $4.71 for that same strike. Now, that's important for a very big reason. By 4 o'clock that day, the options that expire today had gone from 37 cents to $1.82, which is almost 5 times. The September options at the same strike price, that 298 strike, went from 471 to 679, which isn't even close to 2 times return, right? The guys who understand the time decay, which is a very important principle, probably the most important principle that we teach in Options Foundation. The guys who did not understand time decay could have easily picked the wrong options chain to trade and greatly reduced their profit on that trade. And their risk on that trade, by the way, would have been substantially higher had they picked the wrong chain. So these guys have gotten wired to understand the risk-reward trade-offs that are unique to the properties of options compared to equities.
So one of the things we do internally is we study our top traders. We study the heck out of our top traders. Why have they been successful? What is it about them that makes them successful? And if my memory is correct, when you first originally shot Options Foundation, one of our top traders sat in on that original production. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I
don't know if you
certainly
remember
do.
who that was.
I do remember
I don't know if
who
you have
that
any
was.
reaction about him sitting in on that.
Oh, I certainly do remember that, Mike. Shark, who we all know is the top trader on our desk, he was actually in the same Equity Foundation class that I was shortly before I shot Options Foundation as the videos which comprise our Options Foundation course. Now, before we go any further, I wanted to mention that we're actually running a free workshop where we'll be teaching attendees about 3 option strategies that options income traders, including those on our options trading desk here at SMB, employ on a consistent basis, including a really simple and powerful strategy that Warren Buffett and other great investors use all the time, plus an options trading strategy that has an 80% probability of profit statistically month in and month out, plus a really interesting and simple option strategy that you can employ with the stock that you like, where you make your target profit whether the stock goes up, goes nowhere, or even goes down a small percentage. So if you want to register for this workshop we're currently running, just go ahead and click the link that should be appearing now at the top right corner of your screen. That will open the free registration page in a new window, so don't worry, you won't lose this video. You can also visit optionsclass.com to register for this free intensive workshop. It is an unusual opportunity for traders and investors to learn directly from Wall Street's traders, but that's exactly what you'll be getting through this free online workshop. So click the link, sign up for it now so you don't forget. Shark, who was a fledgling trader at that time, was sitting in on that course and was very active. If you have seen the Options Foundation videos, you'll see Shark in there. He's really engaged and processing it pretty quickly. I mean, it was impressive, so much so that a couple weeks later, I remember going into your and Steve's office and saying, I would keep an eye on this Shark because he's sharp, and I wouldn't be surprised if he turns out to be an excellent day trader. Now, maybe I was lucky, but I certainly was right. Let's put it that way. So, and Shark has told me since then that he attributes his skill in trading options. He can trace that back to when he took the Options Foundation course originally, live with me in an interactive way. So that was very rewarding for me to hear that, because I know just how tremendously successful Shark has become.
So I've been thinking a lot lately about how to improve our training here at the firm. Structurally, before the start of our new hires class, I spent a lot of time thinking about how we can make our training better. Certainly during the year, we continually are making it better with videos and ideas, and place them into our training so that it's continually getting better. But I do spend the most amount of time around now in the summertime before our new hires come in September, thinking about what we can do better, how we make our training program better, how do we give our traders a better chance to succeed, because there's such a huge investment that we're making as a firm in these traders. And so in thinking about the tremendous and unusual success that our traders have had with options, I keep coming back to this new idea. And to take a half a step back, the way that we train our traders now is they take S&B DNA. That's our foundational course. They then take the Winning Trader, which is a course where traders get access to trades that traders are making on the desk with Edge, and our trainees experiment, our new hires experiment with those setups, and then they choose the ones that are best for them. And then when they get a sense for their niche and how specifically they want to trade, they interview for a team and they experience what we call team trading, where you're sitting with a senior trader. That senior trader is coaching you. You are diving deeper into the setups with Edge that you have a niche, that you developed a niche in, that you think is going to be your niche. And you're getting access to these high-performing traders who are also trading similar to you. And so you go through that. And certainly on our desk, traders can come to you, equity traders can come to you.
And they do.
With questions about options. They can go to the other senior traders on the desk and ask them questions about options. They can request access to Options Foundation, and many of them have done that and gone through that, which we can attribute greatly to their success. But we do not formally prescribe for our traders to take Options Foundation. It kind of just happened. It happens informally. And so as I think about how we can get better, I'm thinking that going forward, our training should be DNA, the Winning Trader, team trading, end Options Foundation. And I wanted to get some feedback from you as to whether you think that's a good idea, whether you think that's something we ought to think about pursuing.
Well, I certainly think it should be given some serious thought, Mike, for a couple reasons. One, in a sense we've covered already, which is traders who develop skills in how to trade equities. It is a natural next step for them to basically juice up their returns and juice up their results and juice up, maybe most importantly, the risk-reward trade-offs of their trades with options. And so I think it's a growth area for people who have established first the fundamental equity intraday trading skills. But secondly, and this is to me very exciting, is that traders who learn Options Foundation, take Options Foundation, can also have essentially a second discipline going on, which you could think of as a moneymaker in the background of your day trading. Most Options Foundation trading strategies that we teach can be administered basically, or how do I put it, handled about once a day. You can pick the time of day you want to do that. It doesn't have to be in the opening drive hour, the first hour of trading, or the final hour. You can have your adjustment period on your options trades be midday when there's less activity going on, and you can focus on that and not detract in any way from your intraday equity trading. So I always argue that options income strategies, which are a significant part of that course, Options Foundation, are a perfect complement to day trading, because day traders can learn these structures and only have to basically tend to them once or twice a day in almost every trading day. So you not only build up a skill which enhances your day trading, but you build up a second profit center within your trading day involving the options income strategies too. So I think it would be an idea that has a lot of merit to it to formalize that and have the traders get a options training as well.
So I'm reading a great book right now by David Epstein called Range, and it's a study in truly how people become great at anything. And so the prevailing wisdom is specialize, 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 and his argument is, wait a second, that may not be true, that a broader education in anything can lead to greater success. And this book has precipitated more thought of our training in that, and it links to this idea of adding formally Options Foundation to our training because it helps people increase their range of knowledge. And I'll just give you an example of what we're doing on the desk. And so lots of traders on the desk have now picked up options, many of them from Options Foundation. We are directionally betting on the very hottest stock in the trading universe right now, Beyond Meats, BYND. There are lots of people who think that this is headed to 50. There are lots of people who think it's got room to go higher. A lot of people on our desk are positioned lower, but they're trading it uniquely and differently across the firm. Some traders are scalping it based on momentum, exclusively using equities. Some traders are trading short with equities and expressing short also with options, doing both. They're trading options and they're trading equities to express a short position. Some are not bothering with equities at all and only buying puts to express a short position. And some are doing this with strikes that are of recent, and some are doing it more out in time. Mm-hmm. And so it's given them this increased range of their ability to express their trades, has given them more trades to think about, and they're uniquely applying them to their trading system.
Let me add that all the examples you gave of how the options were augmenting or were the complete strategy for someone playing BYND. What you didn't mention was the guys who were bearish selling calls as opposed to buying puts, or the guys who were bullish selling puts instead of buying calls. You'd understand if you had some domain knowledge of options theory, which we teach, you'd understand the advantages. And there are disadvantages to selling calls instead of buying puts, and there are tremendous advantages also to selling calls versus buying puts. But you need to learn those, and you need to understand the properties of options, the dangers, the benefits, and really be able to apply those to the right circumstances given your view. So there's way more that you can do structurally with options if you get a little bit of theoretical knowledge about the different alternatives you have within the options universe.